Are the I gottas in your life driving you nuts? What if it didn't have to be that hard?
Mindset strategist Bellany DeShong and business strategist Michelle Muir are done with watching entrepreneurs losing their money, their families, and their sanity. They are clear that successful business owners have mastered two things: the strategy to build their business and the mindset to fuel it. So they're doing something about it. Welcome to Mind Your Own Business.
Welcome to Mind Your Own Business. I'm Bellany DeShong. I'm your mindset strategist, and
I'm Michelle Muir, and I'm your business strategist for the day. So, how did we get here, Bellany? Why don't you tell them about you first? Let's start there.
Okay, great. This is my 27th year to be a mindset coach. And 1993 is when I started my Live It Choice business. And in that point is about helping people to discover the things that prevent them from living the greatest version of themselves. That chatter in the mind that interrupts the things you want to create and have in your life and directs you off into a mindset that's not so empowering, not so loving, not so supportive and caring. So I began that in 1993 and moved fast forward. I decided to start working my business with entrepreneurs, and that was in 2005. I met Michelle Sism in 2010. I met Michelle Muir in 2010. And Michelle is this incredible business strategist of whom she will share herself with you. And at that point, we began to notice that as she coached entrepreneurs, she found that there were issues in mindset, things that prevented entrepreneurs from excelling and climbing to the ladder of success. I began to notice, as I worked with entrepreneurs, that I could work the mindset, but what was missing was the strategy to develop and move past those places where they got stuck logistically in their business. And so we began to work together in 2000 and about 11 or 12.
We met in December 2010. So.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle, because hence here we are. We've helped a lot of businesses over these years become highly successful in their endeavors of all forms of business. So I'll let Michelle share some of that with you.
Yeah, a little bit
Go
about
for
me.
it. Yes.
Okay, cool. So I am a third-generation entrepreneur. I was born into a family that had kids to guarantee they had employees. So I grew up working in our grocery store. I actually learned to crawl in the grocery store. I mean, literally, the school bus dropped us off at the grocery store. So my family had 4 businesses when I was born, and that just continued to grow. If we thought we could make a dime at it, we did it. And so I spent my entire life learning from, right next to my dad and my grandfather on how to build those businesses. I went to school, got an accounting degree, because I knew that if I understood the numbers, I could do anything I wanted in this world. So I love the strategy. I love building business. I've had massive success. I sold a company for a nice big old chunk of change, okay, a trucking company. And I also know what it feels like the day the bank called and said, hey, you owe us $1.5 million, and we're looking for our money. Where is it, right? So I know what it feels like to be at the top. I know what it feels like to be at the bottom. And after we sold the trucking company, I went into this, what am I going to do? And actually, guys, because we have a room full of realtors here, I spent a couple of years flipping houses. And I really, really loved it until the credit dried up in 2009, and there was nothing that last house sat for a long time, and I thought, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. And so I began Decisive Minds in 2010 as a business strategist. What's funny is that I'm the introvert, the extrovert, the introvert. I don't really like to be in front of people. So I created that first year I was going to build my business without leaving my house, behind my computer. Yeah. And so, after I spent a whole lot of money and made absolutely none, and my dad said, I don't think you're in business, right? So, yeah, when your dad knows what he's doing and he tells you you're not in business, you're in trouble. And the phone rings one day, and it's a lady who says, you don't know me, but I'm the director of eWomen in Houston, and I would like you to come speak at my luncheon. And I had written a book at that point. She's like, just come talk about your book. And I said, great. I said, have you heard about my second book? And she said, no, what is it? I said, it's called Take Action, Get Profits, 5 Steps to Massive Online Success. She goes, oh, that's fantastic. I hung up the phone and thought, I got to write that book because I made it up on the spot, okay? Because the first book I wrote was crap. Can we say that on TV? It was bad.
We can on
So,
yours.
okay, on my TV we can. So here's the long to that story is I did write that book because you can write a book in like a weekend if you want to.
And published it, and printed it.
And I did everything in 2 weeks and got there to speak, and they sat me at her table. She was the table host that they sat me at for my very first speaking engagement ever. And guys, I'm telling you, this introvert, I was like this, sitting at the table. I hadn't even got up yet. And she passes me this little card that says, what is,
So let me back up a second. When I first got there for the same event, and I checked in at the desk that I was there, and the managing director for the networking group said, you're going to love the guest, and you are the right person to be sitting there with her. And I said, okay, great, awesome. The speaker, not the guest, but the guest speaker. And so I sat down. So yes, she was seated, and the table was just going. And there's 8 of us there. People began to look around. Who's
levitating the table?
And we're going to take off any minute. She must be the director of some spaceship, you know. So I took a business card and I just wrote on the back, "You got this, honey." Oh. And I slid it over like that. Now, little did I know that was the first time she's ever got in front of a group to speak.
Yeah.
But I just knew that you got this is what it was going to take. And she read it and nailed it. So go for what happened.
Yeah, so it was fabulous. From that point on, we've been in business together. We've been friends together. I want to back up. I'm going to tell y'all one more story because y'all haven't met her husband, Doug. And Doug is amazing. But Doug was the first person to come into that room that day and come straight over to me and not introduce himself, but tell me about his wife. Okay? He stood there and told me all about his wife. And he made her out to be this. I mean, she was something, right?
Now,
so
he was there to network for himself.
He was there to network for himself.
He has his own business. He's a pool builder, right?
Yes.
But go ahead.
So I'm setting up my table, and Doug, he is telling me all about his wife and how she's going to be there in a little while. And it's one of those moments I will never forget. All of a sudden, there's a lot of people in this room. I see the doors fly open, and in walks Bellany. And pretty much how I remember it.
Yeah, you're like, that's her.
That was her. Oh, I knew. I hadn't even been introduced yet. I'm like, that's his wife right there. So, yes. And you know, the rest is history.
Big deal on her, though. She got up and spoke. There were like 90-something people in the room.
Yeah.
It was a nice networking luncheon. And she closed 90, like 92 or 93 people bought her book that day.
They each handed me a check for like $100 for a course I was creating. So, you know, I made a nice big chunk of change for a 15-minute speech and thought, okay, I can do this. I called my coach and said, you were right, and I can do this. And here we are.
Became her very client.
She did. So.
So I met up with her, and we set an appointment. I bought her book, and I said, but I need you. I don't know what I need, but I need you. And so booked an appointment. I had my mindset handled. That was never the issue at that time. The strategy was missing in my business. I was the most powerful, incredible, for-profit, nonprofit company you would have ever known. And Michelle took me from nothingness to 6 figures in the first year. So it was, and then up from there, doubled every time after that. Mm-hmm. That's where Michelle took me. But I will tell you this, because this is you tell me when I have to stop, right?
I will.
So this is how we wing it with each other, right? I sat across the table from her in my kitchen, and I prepared her a nice lunch, and I watched her move the food around on her plate with her fork, and I thought, okay, she doesn't like that, she doesn't like this. And finally I said, so what is it going to cost me to work with you? And she told me, and I said, okay, great, scoot all this stuff back in, because we're going to talk some more. Because there is no way I can pay that. because I didn't have the strategy. And she says, oh, don't worry about it. I said, what do you mean? She says, you'll pay me because we're going to build this business. And that's when I took the biggest leap of my life. The biggest leap of my life was I could tell when she said to me, we're going to build this business, it won't matter. And I signed. And we built the business. So that's like, I thank God I had the mindset to hear that and step in it. So that's what we're all about, right?
Right.
I had spent, from 93 to
17 years, I think.
17 years.
We'll do it again. No.